Certain critical infrastructure should be off limits to attack, period, by cyber or any other means. I gave them a list. If I'm not mistaken, I don't have it in front of me, 16 specific entities.
But now, as Russia threatens Ukraine with nearly 200,000 troops on their border, Joe Biden seems to be changing his tune.
We would probably also be required to reinforce our presence in NATO countries to reassure particularly those in the Eastern Front. In addition to that, I made it clear that we would provide the defensive capability to the Ukrainians as well.
All right, here to discuss the threat of escalating tension in Eastern Europe and America's involvement, New Jersey Representative Jeff Van Drew, Congressman Drew. By the sound of that statement, Joe Biden could possibly push this situation into an all-out war between Russia and Ukraine. What does the president need to do to keep things from getting out of hand?
Well, first of all, he needs to be strong. We must understand that the reason that this has happened and the reason that it is happening is because the United States of America is perceived as being weaker. With all the domestic issues we have, with the crime in our cities, with the problems we've had with our supply chain, with our lack of energy, with us having to go down on our knees to China and Russia for energy, for the fact that he wouldn't approve an agreement we already made, for oil and gas to continue that process that we had already agreed with Canada. He then moved forward, broke that promise on that pipeline, and yet approves the Russian pipeline. So I think a great deal of the world is laughing at us. And I think it's not only in Ukraine that we have to worry. I think we have to worry in South Korea. I think we have to worry in Iran. I think we have to worry in China. We have to be the strong America that President Trump actually showed the world. And if President Trump was here, I'm telling you, we wouldn't be going through this now. So what does he have to do? He has to be strong. He has to keep his word. He can't get down on his knees. He has to let them know that there's going to be hell to pay if they do this in Ukraine. And by that, I mean, he's got to let them know there's going to be all kinds of economic sanctions. There's going to be political sanctions. There is going to be a lot of problems. And we're certainly going to help the Ukrainians in any way we can, short of putting troops there, because we just can't bleed our men and women all around the world. But these situations, let me be clear again, wouldn't happen if we were strong and we were standing strong, and we're not. When you have an open border, like you just did such a good story on, bleeding people into this country, many of them who are sick, diseased, drug addicts, part of the cartel. For God's sake, I say it in humor, but not completely. I literally think that Joe Biden should be on the, part of their literal team on the cartel. He should literally be part of their payroll on the cartel because of what he's allowing to happen to America. I don't understand it. I don't understand any of it. Nationally, domestically, or internationally, it's awful.
Yeah, Congressman, an op-ed in the Washington Post is blaming former President Donald Trump for Russian aggression toward Ukraine. Your response?
Yeah, I love how we like to try to rewrite history and have revisionist history. The bottom line is, this is what I know. I know that when President Trump was the president of the United States, we were number one in energy. I know that our supply chain was improving drastically. We were doing much better. I know that we weren't number one in crime in all our major cities. All of a sudden, that our crime rate went way up around the world. I know that our military was getting stronger, and I know that we didn't have open borders, and I know that other countries worried about what the United States said and what the United States would do. It was Ronald Reagan that said it. I repeat it all the time. The truth is, countries don't go after other countries because they think they're too strong. It's because they think they're weak. Now we've got to show some strength here. I hope the president just doesn't fold on this, because literally, like I said, he could be part of the payroll for the people that are moving people into our country across the border and doing all types of horrible things. I sure wouldn't want to think that he was on the payroll for Putin.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.